Welcome to the Fast Track Listening Program. The ideas presented here are intended to assist you in developing a strong and profitable business for Amway IBOs affiliated with Marker Man Productions. For the calendar year 2023, the average income from Amway for all U.S. registered IBOs at the Founders Platinum level and below was $841 before expenses. See www.amway.com/income-disclosure for details and the most up-to-date information. Earnings depend on many factors, including customer base, business experience, effort, dedication, as well as quality and performance of the downline sales team. Enjoy the following message.
You know, I will tell you, for us, how many of you are excited about the new changes? Now, if you're brand new, you don't know anything. If you've been a veteran IBO, you've been around for a while, you should be excited about the changes. We said a couple weeks ago, I like to have some fun, guys, sorry, with Stephen Marcia. Yeah, no, it just wasn't centered, so I'm getting centered in the room. With Stephen Marcia, and we had a powwow. Sometimes you got to do that with a coach. If you're building this business and you have a coach, it is time for you to sit with your coach, whoever you're working with, and saying, what do I need to do? Because, see, we had some hang-ups. They may not have had some hang-ups because we weren't there to talk about them, but we were there to talk about us and our business and what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go. And I'm not going to lie to you. You know, we kind of stepped back, like some of you probably had done, right? Because we weren't sure where we fit, what we do. And we told them, if we decide really to step forward like we know we should be, we're going to go. And guys, I'm going to tell you, that was just 3 weeks ago. New IBO registration is not just up. I don't have 18,000 of those 20,000. I'd like to have those things, right? But our team now is growing in the direction it should be growing for each and every one of us. So my message to you is, if you have a coach and you want to build this business, now is the time. The time is now to get with your coach. Don't wait till tomorrow. If you haven't spoke to your coach about building this business today, I want you to take out your phone. Just kidding. When we're done here tonight, I do want you to take out your phone. Because, see, I don't believe you spent time, energy, and effort and money just to be here tonight to waste your time, right? And I don't want to take any of Cindy's time going. I'm sitting here, I know the notes she has, and I'm going, holy smokes, you might not get me at the end because she is that good. And I know, Joe, we might joke about that, but the system of MMP works. From a little girl, I'm going to say that, right? Now who's a grandmother, love her. I ain't going to go with some jokes and things on that. But where she was to I had to do today that, not that I want to go anywhere, Lord Jesus, do not take me, you know, unless you want me. But she can do this on her own. She's powerful. So men, if you have a lady in your life and you're lucky enough for that, our beliefs, my beliefs, I remember Jody telling me, he says, Lee, listen to your wife more. Men, this is not just a product business for ladies. This is a business that women, men, couples, any walks of life can build. We accept all here, but like they said, meet us halfway. Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Hurst.
Thanks, babe. Okay, 2 things, absolutely true. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for the system and the business and the people in the business encouraging me and guiding me and leading me and helping me through. Second thing, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't ordered the tanning water and it's leaving, seriously, you need to order it, because that is one of the best products they came out with. If anybody's ever used self-tanner, and I know a lot of people have, and I know a lot of people know a lot of people who have, brilliant product. Even though I'm very white, I get the darker one because it works amazing. Just order it. Just order it. That's all I got to tell you. Okay, so back on track. I am going to follow my notes a little better tonight than I normally do because I want to make sure I hit all the right points. I am going to talk to you a little bit about getting people started right. And Lee is right. We are back into the business. We're back into the swing of things. Exciting things going on. The corporation doing the free registration, that's huge. That's huge. And then MMP following along with that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If you were ever going to build it, and I'm sure you've heard this before if you've been around, build it now. You have so many things at your fingertips to help you build the business at this point. You ought to just run with it. It's not going to hurt you. Okay, as we're getting people started, with the no-cost registration, people are getting registered faster and faster, right? They don't have to think about it because there's no risk. So people are just getting registered. So we have to make sure that we're getting people registered the right way and that we're getting them started off on the right foot. And to do that, we want to make sure that you remember, too, that people who get registered are building the business at different paces. So some people might get in and they might take a little bit. Once they get registered, they might take a minute to figure out the customer part of it or to get online because they're busy. But then you're going to have other people get involved and they're just going to be like, let's go. And they're going to have 10 people for you to show the plan to. Well, you got to make sure that you're still getting that person started right so that they can start to sponsor people. And I'll go through that here in a second. So once you have them registered, the first thing you want to do is I have them download the Amway Creator app. So that way they have the Amway app on their phone. They can get on it anytime they need to order products. They can register a customer. They can register an IBO. It's all right there on their phone. Everybody has their phone in their hand all the time. So you want to make sure that they do that. Second thing you need to have them do is make sure they register for the 30-day free pass for markman.com. Make sure they get on there, they're registered, they're ready to go. That way they have both parts of the system. They have the Amway ordering side and they have the M&P building side. So once they're on the Amway side, they're registered. When they log into their Amway site, they're going to see on their page, their first page that comes up, it's going to have a 7-step, I believe it is, 7 steps to go through, and that's what we call onboarding. I thought onboarding was just one of those steps, but actually the onboarding is pretty much the entire process. And Amway's onboarding is pretty much what we do for a PV orientation. They almost go hand in hand. So you want to make sure that you're teaching them to go through the steps on the site, but you're still getting with them face-to-face to do the PV orientation. If you can do face-to-face, some people are registered out of state. Just make sure you get with them online or Zoom or however you want to do that. For those of you who haven't sponsored anybody new yet and you want to know what the onboarding looks like, you can go up to the little avatar up in the corner. You can click on that, and if you scroll down, it's under New IBL Toolkit. You can go through the same process that they see. That way you can answer questions if they have questions and you know where to find everything. Also, you want to make sure that you're going through the steps with them. So when I set up a PV orientation, I either have them go through the steps. Some people are 10 steps ahead of me, and they've already done all the steps before I can even say, hey, there's steps to do. But there's other people that are busy and haven't had a chance to even get on there to look around. So when I do their PV orientation, we go through the steps together. Either way, we just want to make sure that we go through those steps. So what are the steps? The steps are, like I said, there's 7, but the most important ones are, I say, 1, 2, and 3. The first step is, in that it has the tour of the site. It has email communications, so they're getting updates of things going on. Their hyper wallet, that's how they get paid. You want to make sure that they do that. And then My Shop. My Shop is where they create their customer website, which is what they're going to need when they're registering customers and selling products. There's step 2 of the process. That's where they're going to pick their product stack. It explains all the different stacks. There's 4 different stacks they can choose from: nutrition, beauty, sports nutrition, and customer faves. Super easy, multiple choice. If they're not sure, just get with them and have them walk through them each together, and you can explain the products. I also do like to, if I have them, I like to have catalogs to give new people, because sometimes it's easier to flip through. I don't know about you, but I'm old school. Sometimes I like to just sit and flip through a catalog and then trying to search all the way through the site to see everything that you have access to. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. And then the third step is where it talks about registering customers and sponsoring people. This is where it's important that we talk to them about, before they can actually build a team, they have to create $300 worth of customer sales. Steve talked a little bit about the customer part of it. It's not that big of a deal. You're going to get the products with your product stack. You're going to love the products. Share your products. That's all you got to do, is share your products with people. If you're not sure who to do customer sales with, you can always help them make a list of people that they know that would buy products from them right away. It might be somebody at work. It might be aunt, grandma, cousin, doesn't matter. Help them with their customer sales. So With all that being said, this is a people business first, right? You can have the best products in the world, but if you don't have people, you're not going to build a business. I mean, right? So we need to make sure that we have those people when we're talking to the people. And the best way to do that is getting plugged into the MMP system. Look, I wouldn't be able to talk to people if I wasn't plugged in. I wouldn't have the confidence that I have today to stand up here and talk to you if it wasn't for the system. I am not naturally a people person. I can smile and say hi, but I'm not the type of person that's just going to go out of my way to say hi to somebody or create a conversation. But with the help of this business and the help of the value support materials, I can now do that, right? So that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we're working on bettering ourselves, and we can do that through the value support material. Plug in, get engaged, come to the events, listen to the audios. Seriously, they're making it free for you. Like, you have no excuse whatsoever other than just making the time to do that, making the time to attend, making the time to listen. Use the knowledge of your upline. Use the knowledge of your sponsor. If you have questions, ask questions. Ask lots and lots and lots of questions. That's why we're here. We're here to help you. We're here to help you build the business. You want to make sure that you're attractable, right? You want to be that person, and this is what the value support material is going to help you do. They're going to help you when you walk into the room. You want to be that person. They're like, oh, she's here. You don't want to be the person like, oh, she's here. Because we all know a few of those, so we don't want to be that person. You want to be the light in someone else's life. The business is so much more than what you first see. And that's huge, but you're only going to understand that the more you're involved. The business not only gives you the opportunity to make money, it gives you the opportunity to reach other people. I am blessed that this business has brought people into my life that today I can call my best friends. I love the people that I'm around. I love being around like-minded people. We're all running for the same thing. We all have the same mindset, and it's just a great place to make friends, and you're going to have lifelong friends in this business. This business brings people together, working to make their lives better together. Be a people connector. This business is everything you want it to be when you connect people. And the best example of a people connector that I know is my husband, Lee. He can connect with anybody on any aspect, on any level. It doesn't matter if he's met you for the first time or, he's met you 20 times. He's going to be able to connect with you, and he's great at that. So tell you what, if you have somebody like that in your business, learn from them. If you hear them talking, learn from them. And he's here to teach you. So here's Lee. Thank you. Have a good night.
Love it. Thank you. Yep. Wow. Whether you like me or like them, learn from them, right? Come on. Reality is someone says, what are you talking about? So you got to see some people. You ever see somebody go, I don't think I like that person? Be real, right? We shouldn't, but we do. That's reality. I get it. I'm a shaved, bald-headed white dude. I'm not small. I can freak people out. At the end of the day, it's always trying to listen to someone to gather knowledge. We were driving up here, and we passed a snowman. Y'all, we're in Ohio, right? Anybody passed any snow people out there, right? Bear with me, we really did. We passed a snowman in the yard. I pulled over and I said, hey, snowman, why are you so angry? They said, the sun came out. I said, yeah, the sun came out, and then what? He said, I had a meltdown. Anyhow, hey, easy. So I like to have some fun, but I'm going to tell you, I'm sitting back there going, everything you've heard tonight is legit. But I might get a little tough. I might not get a little tough. It just depends on where this goes, and it's probably the coach in me and the background that I have, because I was raised the youngest of 4 boys. I was the one who got my head kicked in. I got ran over. It wasn't easy for me. No boo-hoo stuff. I mean, it's just the way it was. I had to learn to get by. Anybody the youngest in your family, right? It was a little different because sometimes we fought for food. And being the littlest, you didn't get food all the time. Well, thank God those days have changed. But, what if you guys heard that story? I think might have been Joe a while back, talked about the book 212. You guys remember that talk, those who've been around a while. If you haven't, there's a temperature out there that water boils. Water boils at 212. No matter what you do, you can take and put it at 211. I'm not sure which one y'all were, so if it wasn't Joe, they'll say it wasn't Joe. Don't matter, right? There's a book you can get on 212. It's about getting yourself all steamed up, no pun intended, but getting yourself motivated. But see, when water's at 211, it doesn't boil. It doesn't create steam. It doesn't do anything. But you know what's amazing with water? If you can heat it up long enough, it turns into steam. And that steam can move 250 pounds per square inch. And I think in our industry, some of the issues is we sit back and we say, I can't do this. I can't be that. We don't want any of you to be me. We don't want any of you to be a Jody, a Steve, a Marcia, a Kelly, a Cindy, a Kathy, any of the. We don't want you to be any of us. We want you to be the best you can be. That's all you can. Now, if anything I hit you here in the next couple minutes with, you disagree with in beliefs, these are my belief systems. And I can tell you it is spiritual. I'm not going to go crazy on you and say you got to believe the way I believe. But I'm going to tell you, I watched a movie a few months ago, probably last summer, called The Jesus Revolution. If you haven't watched it, it's not a spiritual thing where you got to say, oh my gosh, you know. No, what moved me is music. You guys that been around me enough know I'm a music crazy guy. I love good music. And I didn't realize the 70s music was really founded on the hippie movement. Someone says, what's this have to do with us tonight? Everything, just bear with me. That movement going on in the 70s and 80s, they were a lost group of people wanting to be homed, wanting to be found. And if you follow that story, it's a true story. And you watch that movie, you'll get what I got. But see what's going on in today's generation? I believe more importantly, I'm talking to you elders right now in the room and online. There is a lost generation of young looking to find a home that are not being mentored, not being coached, not being advised. Someone says, how do you see that? How do you know that? Because we see it every day in conversation. Steve was talking about contacting approaches. I could stand up here and do it left and right with you all night long. But the issue comes down is they're looking for someone in their life to tell them this is what you do. So if you think I don't have a mission in life, right now find one. Whether you build this business big or small is totally up to you. We can give you every nook and cranny for the love of Pete and Tom and Mary and Mike. The registration right now, we know they've said it how many times for Amway is 0. Complimentary, right? Kind of like the peanuts at the bar. They're complimentary, right? The M&P registration with the digital material, it's complimentary, okay? But are you willing to step forward and step out of where we are? And I think some of us are. I know the feel of the room, talking to some of you guys online, getting text messages back there. Some of you say the sound is great. Some of you say the sound isn't. Doesn't matter. What matters is you took a Saturday night to get something out of it. So what can you get out of it? Mentorship. Do you have a mentor? I talked about that when I came up here. That will coach you and advise you that you can sit down with and disagree with. And at the end of the day, you still love each other. But when they talk to you and say, this is what needs to be done, do you do it? And if your answer is, I'm going to think about it. There's no games being played here, right? The reality is we all signed up for our dreams, goals, hopes, wants, and needs. Are we pursuing those? So my question right now for you, where you are in life right now, besides getting my mentorship message, y'all get that? You are ordained from Lee this morning, whether it means nothing or not, this afternoon, evening, whatever. Have fun with that. Mentor people. They're looking for it. They're looking for guidance. Someone's got to do it. And if you're not doing it, who are they going to get it from? You know, the guy down the street who might be giving them the wrong advice to go down the wrong road, then they end up in prison. You don't realize maybe someday how much of a big impact you can have on someone's life. It's true, okay? But where you're at in life right now, what do you want? What do you want? I'm not talking about a mansion on a hilltop. I'm talking about where you are. If you don't even know as a person, what do you want out of your life? How do you know what you can even do in this business? Sometimes we try to take and build a business when I can't even, reality from coaching people, there are people struggling to get out of bed. I'm not talking about physical. I do that every day, right? Some of you, I get what you're saying. But mentally, they've checked out. We've got to help more people find out what they want even out of the rest of their life. And then how does that fit into business? Because if they're mentally not ready, we can't really help them move a business anywhere they need to be. So how important is our system? Huge. Guys, if you're not involved with educating yourself mentally, you're hurting yourself. That's it. You're hurting other people. That's it. Are you listening to those audios every day? Don't take a self-centered approach that, oh, well, I know this and I know that. No, we all have to get better so we can help more people. Does that make sense? So do you know right now where you are in life? Do you know what you want, right? I talk to young kids a lot of times because my kids are young, and most of our business team is younger than us. So if you're our age or older, have at it. But most of our team is younger. Why? Most of our age group that we know are in bed right now. I mean, it's the truth. We call some of our family and friends up, and they're like, "I'm sleeping." It's like, what time is it even? Like 8:45? You're in bed. Where these the younger folks, unless they're well, anyway, they're motivated to do things, right? And they're more fun. So if you can't figure out where you're at in life, huge. Tonight, start thinking about what you want. Because once you find out where you want to go, it's a lot easier to put the plan in to get there. Make sense? But if you have no clue where you want to get, well, I want to be 7,500 in this business. I want to go on to Emerald. I want to go on to Diamond. Have you shown a plan yet? No. How long you been around? A little while. Oh, how much little while we going to keep waiting before you show a plan yet? You can't go to 7,500. You can't go to, you can go 1,000 with your upline building your business, okay? But you're not going to get much further if you're not bringing people to the table. And I'm not trying to freak some of you all out that are new, because we have them on here too. You can learn how to do this. There's too many tools. And you might be terrible today. Anybody? Classroom, right? Anybody terrible when we first started doing this? And I'm kind of chuckling and going, how blessed I am to have Cindy, because I dated all her best friends. If you don't know our story, before we got married. I didn't date them like that week, of course. But, she chose me. And to be so blessed to have her in my life, the men's meeting. Joe talked about that men's meeting briefly. I asked the question with intent. If you want to build strong relationships, this is in my notes, by the way. If you want to build strong relationships, especially in a one-on-one relationship like a husband, a wife, partner, whatever your deal is, right? I think I asked, and I'm not going to say who, what. One's been married 21 years. One's been married 22 years. One's been married 28 years. And one's been married 30 years. So I don't think I would go to my buddy Bob and say, "Hey, Bob, what do you think about me dating this person?" "Well, I don't know. I haven't even been in a relationship." Yep, that's a relationship expert. So understand, that's who people get their business advice from. People who have no idea. So my point on that meeting for the guys that were on there, and to share it with you ladies, these men are trying to step up for you, right? But for them was to realize, if I had a relationship question, who would you want to go to if it was that type of relationship? Someone who just started dating with someone, or someone who's been in that marriage relationship or a relationship for a long time? No brainer, right? We want to find somebody who's been in that relationship. That's what we do here. You have coaches and mentors who have been in the business so long, they know what to do. Sports background, my background, right? Some of you guys get, I'm sitting here thinking, if we picked a team here to play some physical sports tonight, who would you pick? And you go, "Well, I'm not sure." It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, when the coach said, "Here's the play," we knew who was going to get the ball. It was one of us three that were on that team. That makes sense to you? So you've got to develop that person to say, "Give me the ball. Give me the chance." If not, time's going to pass you by. And every day, I can tell you, for me, I know I get up every day and it's a little bit harder. It ain't the same it was the day before, right? And the older we get, it just keeps moving. So if you're in that kind of thing where you're at in life, where I guess I am, me to you is mentorship, coach, guide people. They're looking for it, right? The Reset 30 is going to be a huge program. Better physicality, the Reset 30, right? Are you, and again, I don't want to get too tough. We're going to run out of time here, so we'll keep moving. But at the end of the day, do you want to get better physically? Someone says, "Well, I don't think so." The answer is yes, you do. Because if you physically don't feel good about yourself, right? Cindy talked about appearance and different things. It's a struggle. That now toggles with your mind. Should I? Shouldn't I? And we all go through those things. Your health. Are you watching your health? We're in a health and fitness business, a beauty business. We should be trying to take care of our health the best we can. Are you making changes? Is that important to you? Or it's, do first impressions mean anything? Sure they do. Now, don't get me wrong. We show our true colors redneck-wise anymore. I mean, I'm in a hoodie a lot of times, and I'm in shorts. I'm still one of those guys in wintertime going to the gym and work out. But that's who we are. But there's a time and a place to look, isn't there? to look that part. So physically, finances. Do you want better finances? Again, who is helping you get there? This program, this business will do that. You build a list. Steve talked about that briefly, right? You build a list, you contact people, you show them the program, you get them started. Then what? Right now, turn up the heat. Turn up the heat. Turn it up 1 degree more and watch what happens. That 1 degree can make a difference. Do you walk away from someone who says, should I contact that person? And you just walk right out of the gas station? Or do you hit the brakes and you go back and say, hey, I don't know what it is, but you seem to be different. You seem to fit a little different. You mind if I ask you a question? Don't do this when there's 20 people in a line, right? It's one-on-one. I can exchange a name and number. He went over a lot of examples. We can all teach you examples of how to do it. Do you do that, or do you just walk on down the road? True story. This just happened last night. Was it last night, Cindy? Don't stop it. I'm 53 now. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to say that, but I am, right? Anyhow, so we go to show the plant over in Mansfield. Okay, we're in a restaurant. I'm not going to say who because they already know who. They're just an example. Don't tell me that God don't work in your favor. Our beliefs, but this is ours, right? And we're sitting in this restaurant. We're getting ready to show a plan, and all of a sudden, my cousin that's with me looks up from the window, and he saw someone pass a window. Okay, and we've never been to this restaurant before, never. Okay, and all of a sudden, he gets up, he goes outside. And here comes his niece and nephew and niece. Now, they've never been to the restaurant before. They didn't talk about what was going on. We didn't talk about what's going on. We're at that restaurant to show the plan. So instead of showing one, we ended up showing 2 IBOs who all are getting involved. It's a great, but here's my point. The point is that's not us. That is staying consistent on what you do and things start to work in your favor. Is it going to get tough? Sure, that's life. Right? I think old Blue Eyes. Who's Blue Eyes' name? Frank Sinatra. Didn't he sing a song that's life? Am I right? That's life. It's going to get tough. It's going to be good. It's going to be bad. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, are you in it? I was going to talk to us tonight about planting seeds in a field, but that's a whole thing some of you guys know about where I would probably be going with that. But mentally, are you strong? Are you strong? Good things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. God incidents or coincidence, whatever your beliefs are going to happen. But if you're sitting home doing nothing, and what I can tell you, you can do your own studies, it's a direct relationship between income still hasn't changed and TV watching. If you say, I have to watch a show, look your own research. It's out there. The more shows you watch, usually it's the less income you make. The less you watch, the more you make. Why? Because TV will steal your time. Most valuable thing we all have is time. We don't watch a lot of TV. If we do, it's usually a movie, or I'm watching Andy Griffin's show. That'll probably never change. And it's the same episode over and over and over, right? And if you watch those, you get what I'm saying. Why? Because they're stories. And I don't have to worry about getting frustrated at a TV show that I didn't agree with this and that. It just is what it is. That's my peace time, right? Someone says, you really get peace from Andy Griffin? I do. So with that, I'm just telling you, there are things going to happen in your life that are going to make sense and connect. And you may not realize who you're supposed to meet right here tonight. And you may not realize where you're supposed to be. But I can tell you, too, time is of the essence. Time keeps slipping by. And I've also gotten to a point in our business, you don't have to do this. And all the guys that are here with us or online know it. Every time we leave, I tell them I love them. They're that important to me. And some of them are funny. And I'm not laughing at people, but it is funny because you see that they don't have a man in their life that's doing that to them. And because I know one day we aren't going to be here. I'm not trying to be somber. I'm a music guy. Sent a song out last week to a couple people like, man, that's sad. It is, but it's true. Life is like a vapor. One day here, next day gone. Step up to the plate. You've been planting with seeds of greatness. Your time is now. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe and Kelly Victor.
This is a copyrighted program of Marker Man